War Has Influenced the Humanities by Kyan Holt. So when something of great significance happens, whatever that might be, can be used as a topic for people to create things like art, music, books, and a lot of other things, and it can even change entire cultures. So in this presentation, I'll be explaining how war can do that. War and art. So there's a lot of art that's been greatly inspired by war, and war might even be the biggest influence on art because it's been happening for thousands of years, and I don't know. But there's a lot of different types of war art, like all of these. So the first one is a propaganda poster, which is just when the government makes something to try to persuade someone to be on their side for whatever. And in this poster, it says, "When you ride alone, you ride with Hitler. Join a car sharing club today." So this is obviously from World War II. And it's trying to convince people to carpool so they can save extra gas for the war. It's been happening since ancient times. Like in this picture of a statue of Alexander the Great, which was made over 2,000 years ago. And there's hundreds of other statues and other pieces of art from this time that have been inspired by war. And it can also portray historic or like famous battles, like this picture of George Washington crossing the Delaware during the Revolutionary War. It also has a great influence on music, and one of the most influential wars has been Vietnam, because a lot of people didn't agree with it and wanted to share their views. So there's a lot of music made about it, including music from John Lennon, the Rolling Stones, Jimi Hendrix, and a lot of other people that have made really famous songs. The impact of this is like it spreads their thoughts, and when people hear them, they tend to agree with them for whatever reason. And it has probably contributed to ending the war, so that's pretty cool. Another thing war can influence is literature. So like it can influence a lot of different types of books, like any different genre or anything. And a lot of really popular books come from World War II, like The Book Thief and The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, and just any other. There's a lot of them. A lot of other war-inspired books are non-fiction type books, like history about certain wars, strategies, and how people have used them in the past, and just like what they are in general. Biographies about people that were in wars or generals or whatever, and historic battles. Just, I don't know. The Art of War is a great example of this. It was written over 2,000 years ago, and it still has great significance today. Culture. War has a huge impact on culture, especially today. A lot of movies and games and stuff kind of tend to idolize war and just make it seem like it's fun and cool and like just action packed, but really it's not. Some examples are 1917, Hacksaw Ridge, Saving Private Ryan. There's a bunch of movies about it, and I'm sure everyone knows games about it, like Call of Duty. It's a really big one. and just most mainstream games nowadays are just about war. Um, in the past, it's also influenced a lot of culture, especially from World War II, because millions of men had to go and fight, and that left only women and like African Americans and stuff behind to do stuff. So a lot of women got jobs and even went to the military, and that's the same with African Americans. And there's a lot of other things that World War II changed, like um, the baby boom influenced the culture a lot, just a bunch of other stuff. And here's a graph that shows the most popular games of 2020. And 5 out of 10 of them are war games. Philosophy, so the current philosophy of the US and most other countries right now is peace oriented, so like they don't want to go to war and they only will if they have to. And I think this has come from World War II, because a lot of people saw how horrible it is and millions of people died, and just no one really wants to do that again. And we're currently living in like the most peaceful time of all human history, but that's not always been the case. Past civilizations, like Sparta for example, like their whole focus is war, because it was a good way to grow their state or country or whatever, their empire, and they would conquer other people and take their resources and stuff, which was good for them. History, there's a lot of history about war. By studying battles from the past, we can, it's really beneficial to us now, because we can see the past mistakes that people have made and kind of avoid them. We can also review past strategies and things like that to make us stronger now. So it's been really beneficial. And that's it.